Yes, guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. Today, we're going to go through the Chelsea news. We've taken the last 2 days off, but there's a few things that need to be discussed again. We're going to talk Cole Palmer's injury. I'm going to give my thoughts on the whole Jadon Sancho. Will Chelsea actually sign him? It started really high and then it just very much petered off, didn't it, with Jadon Sancho? But we still got 10 games to go. So without any further ado, let's get the admin out the way first. More GBFC links in the description. Make sure you're also subscribed to this YouTube channel. And whilst you're at it, please do smack a like on today's video. Some more information regarding Chelsea's double swoop for Sporting Lisbon players Dario Esugo and Giovanni Quenda. Sporting have announced the figures involved in Chelsea's 2 deals for winger and midfielder in their official filings. Quenda, £42 million up front with another £1 million in add-ons. Esugo, £18 million up front with no add-ons. Agent fees paid by Chelsea for both deals are over £3 million combined. This is serious money again that we're spending here. And look, there's a lot of people that are obviously very excited about both Quenda and Esugo. I think there's quite a few clubs that were potentially looking at Esugo for this summer as well. And Quenda, we obviously know, at 17 years old, look, this is, the more I think about this, and I was actually speaking to a mate of mine about football transfers, and he doesn't really understand football, but even he was saying to me, like, why would you buy a 17-year-old when a 17-year-old man isn't always fully grown? So you don't even know if you're actually going to be getting that as the physical end product. Do you know what I mean? So when it comes to Giovanni Quenda, there are still so many if, buts, and maybes that could come as a result of this deal. And having already signed Esteval, who we're going to speak about in a second now, because the latest news regarding Esteval is that Chelsea was the only club that saw Esteval as a 10 to play in the midfield. I could be wrong, but we will have the opportunity. I think we will be right, so that also had a lot of weight on the decision, okay? Chelsea are spending so much money here gambling on youth. And I know that that is a very much, like, I've spoken about this in almost every single video. But when it comes to the positions of all of these players, I'm looking at the future of this squad and what's going to happen. And what we do know is that there are going to be a lot of players here that are already part of the squad now that are going to have to make way for these signings. Because, for example, when Quenda comes in, it's not going to be like, well, okay, we're going to send him out straight away. We might end up sending him on loan. But at the same time, there isn't really any other winger at the club right now who is actually really succeeding to a level where you would say that Chelsea don't need to buy wingers. So as much as it might seem a bit crazy that we're bringing in Esteval, we already bought Sancho last summer, or we loaned Sancho last summer, Neto as well, Mudryk, like so many players, Noni Madueke too, who I actually genuinely believe Chelsea miss in recent weeks when Noni's not been in the side. Who is that winger to actually beat a man and take players on and make something happen? So I think Noni will be looking at this thinking, well, is my future going to be at Chelsea? And then when we look at this latest updates regarding Esteval, like, surely Esteval is not coming to be second fiddle at Stamford Bridge. Like, we're not bringing Esteval in with a player of that level of ability, and we've seen how raw he is, but just how good he is already. Surely he's not coming in to be second fiddle to Cole Palmer. So I've got so many questions, and obviously, like, I think with this Chelsea era that we're in now, you guys know I'm not happy with it. I've not been happy with it for quite some time. And I think when we look forward to what this team's going to look like, what the squad is going to look like, maybe it is going to be Esteval in the 10. If Maresca's still there, is he going to be able to find a way to have Esteval, Quenda, Palmer, all of these very creative, explosive players who need to be able to express themselves? Like, when we look at Cole Palmer's recent performances, and the latest regarding Palmer is that we're hopeful that he's going to make a swift return from injury. But I'm telling you now, I think that Cole Palmer has been playing with an injury for a long time. I don't think all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he's actually injured. I think maybe it's at a point now where he's playing through too much pain, so therefore cannot play anymore. You know what it's like. Chelsea, we've heard Maresca say countless times this season, that we do rely on Palmer. We need Palmer to be playing in order for us to be anywhere close to what our max potential can be. So I wouldn't be surprised if Cole Palmer is out for a while. But the good news is that Jackson should be back and Noni Madueke should be back in the team come the game against Spurs in what is still, 2 weeks from now. So looking forward, right? Quenda on the way. Esteval on the way. What does this mean for the likes of Cole Palmer? I think Nkunku will be out of the door this summer, but the fact that Chelsea are telling Esteval that he's going to play in the number 10 position, I just think there's going to be so many moments under these owners where if an offer was to come in for Palmer, I think they'd accept it. If the money was right, I think they'd accept it, and I genuinely think Palmer would go because he'll go somewhere with ambition, and only a club that's competing in the Champions League would be able to afford to buy him. I don't want this to happen, but I can absolutely see it happening. The next piece of news that we've got to discuss here is regarding Jadon Sancho, because this dropped a few days ago and I've not really spoken about it yet on GBFC, but I need to speak about it because when we talk about wingers coming in, Quenda's not coming in until 2026. So based on what Chelsea have got now, obviously Sancho and Mudryk were the left wingers this season, but Mudryk's flipping banned and we're told that we still don't know the answers. It's rubbish. You guys know that we all know what's happening there. Mudryk's not going to be able to play for quite some time. The latest on Mudryk is that Xabi Alonso wants him at Bayer Leverkusen. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But Mudryk's season was absolutely ruined. And weirdly, Jadon Sancho's season at Chelsea has also kind of ruined itself in recent times. The rumour is, or the story is at the moment, that if Chelsea don't want to pay the obligation that they have, they just pay a fine and they just pay a fee to Manchester United. Now, I'll tell you what, I don't know too much about the ins and outs of transfers, but I do know the distinct difference between an option to buy and an obligation to buy. Why on earth Chelsea even put this as an obligation in the first place to Manchester United is beyond me. If the option would have been available, surely they would have taken the option to buy. I think it would have been Manchester United that wouldn't have wanted this to happen because they didn't want Jadon Sancho at the club. It was Erik ten Hag, remember, not Ruben Amorim. When Jadon Sancho left Manchester United, it was still Erik ten Hag. So Ten Hag didn't want Sancho around the team. Sancho didn't want to be around Ten Hag. And then Sancho came in at Chelsea, started really well. I remember that assist he got for Nkunku's goal in the win at Bournemouth. Absolutely amazing. He was direct. The guy can't shoot. The guy cannot take players on. Every time he crosses the ball, it hits the first man. And it's as if, like, I feel as though as the season has gone on, it's either Chelsea have started to play more of Maresca's style of football, which has stifled the creative attacking players. That's one hypothesis that we could go with right now. Or Sancho has just become disinterested. And I think more so than anything else, I think when you watch Sancho play, I don't really see someone who is fighting for the team the way that he was earlier this season. And I don't know if Chelsea players, right? Something we've noticed in recent times is that when we're not fighting for the top honours, it looks as though the effort that we get is never at 100%. And I don't know if for Sancho, it was like, okay, well, I've got to get people off my back here because I've not been playing well enough since I left Dortmund and signed for Man United. Let me just show what I can do for a little while, get rid of some of that negative press, people will start saying good things about me again, and then I can just relax and be lazy. And again, all of this is opinion. All of these are hypotheses where we don't really have concrete evidence to suggest whether or not it's true. But certainly, when I'm watching Sancho and when I'm watching Chelsea right now, there is a very strong feeling of I can't be asked from a lot of players. And the stats are proving this right now. The stats are proving that Chelsea have lost all of that prowess that we had in front of goal. I think only Southampton attackers have missed more clear chances with XG than Chelsea have again this season. Which, you know, there's only so long we can go ahead and say, well, we're a really young squad. We're super inexperienced. Jadon Sancho isn't that young. Jadon Sancho has been playing at Dortmund and even last year when he went back there on loan. We know the levels that this guy can hit. Why are we not even close to that right now at Chelsea? Is it Maresca? Is he stifling all of the quality of the attackers? I don't know. I think at some point or another, yes, we're hearing Enzo Maresca come out and say, well, if this player does that against my orders, then he's going to get taken out the team. What are you flipping on about, mate? You can't, in the same breath, say all of this stuff about players have got to do as they're told, otherwise they get dropped. But then we're looking at some of the most boring, dross attacking football that we've seen from Chelsea in recent years. Like, the product of the manager is absolutely what we are right now. And I'm not sure how many attackers we need to sign until we realise that it isn't actually the quality of the footballer, it's the football that the footballers are being asked to play. And I think that is what has to change between now and the end of this season. Maresca's got to lift the shackles off some of these attacking players. You've got to go out there and buy the very bright talent of Giovanni Quenda, the potential generational talent of Esteval. You can't play like this going forward. It's going to absolutely kill them, and it'll be the penitentiary of deaths of attacking footballers when it comes to their quality. It's going to be full. We're going to be letting people back out on the streets because the prison's going to be so full. We've got to sort it out. We've got to do something about it. But at the moment, Jadon Sancho could end up going back to Man United. And look, it would be an absolute embarrassment if Chelsea had to pay a fine just to not sign him. That just shows that Sancho has fallen off big time. The question is, how much is that fine? Don't really think anybody knows how much it would be right now. But the obligation to buy is £25 million. So, let me know your thoughts on Sancho at Chelsea in the comments down below. Wanted to just speak a little bit today about the Quenda and Asugo signings because obviously all of that happened in and around that Arsenal game, and it was pretty quick and fast that Chelsea announced and got these deals done. And as well as that Palmer's injury, we kind of didn't have time during the Arsenal game. I was shocked when I didn't see him in the squad. But it is a hamstring problem, and I just hope it isn't what I fear it is, which is that it is significantly worse than it actually is. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. More GBFC linked down below, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Come on, you Blues.